Hi folks, Steven here. So, as we're getting ready to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Pokemon franchise, I wanted to kind of look backwards to the 10th anniversary, and one of the products that was released around that time. This is the Pokemon X album that was meant to celebrate the 10th anniversary. And in case you're not aware of what that was, basically it was a compilation album that contained some stuff from To Be a Master, Totally Pokemon, and some stuff for the then upcoming 9th season of the anime. And the digital version was released back in 2006, and I guess it did well enough that a CD version came out in early 2007 with some additional tracks. Overall, I kind of have mixed feelings about the album. You know, I like the selection that they pulled from To Be a Master. I do think that Totally Pokemon could have gotten maybe one or two more key tracks on there. But the new material, the Season 9 material, is kind of hit or miss for me. For example, Stay Together is one of my favorite Pokemon songs ever, but Hoenn Pokérap, which is only on the CD version, is possibly the worst official English Pokemon song that's ever been produced. I really do kind of feel that way about it. But the weakest part of the album is the representation, you know, at least as far as I'm concerned, of Seasons 4 through 8. All we've got there are the TV versions of the opening themes. They're not, if they had an extended version movie, it's not that version. And speaking of the movies, we don't have any of the ending themes for those in there either. As well as there's a few other things here or there that could have been included, but for whatever reason weren't. Now, there's a variety of reasons that this might have happened. You know, I've mentioned before that Pokemon is not a huge company, so they may not have had the resources to pull in everything they wanted. But one other possibility is that this may have been a victim of the dub changeover that was in process around that time. And it may have made it more difficult to get the original recordings or the rights for those recordings if they wanted to include them on the album. In the end, I am glad the Pokemon X album came out, but I just feel like it could have been a lot more than it was. So, going to the present day, what can we expect for the 20th anniversary? Well, as I've lamented before, there's not really anything that Pokemon has announced musically for the 20th anniversary so far. Now, to be fair, you know, starting in 2013 and going through 2014, they started putting the video game main series soundtracks on iTunes, which I'm very thankful for. And we, of course, have that ongoing Symphonic Evolution series. But, you know, speaking of that, it would be really neat, I think, if we got an actual official soundtrack release from that, from, I guess, one of the concerts. And, you know, going on to some other stuff that's not as well represented, you know, there's a number of classic albums from, like, the first and second generation that just aren't available digitally. And, you know, if we want to talk about stuff that's never been released commercially, at this point there's so much of that I really can't mention everything I would want to see. You know, they're producing for the dub about an album's worth of vocal material every generation at this point. And, you know what? I have a few other ideas, but you're going to have to wait maybe a couple months to see some of those. I think they'll be interesting, but I'm holding on to them for the time being. But, you know, like I said, hopefully the Pokemon Company is working on something. They just don't have anything to announce right now, but we'll have to see. But in the meantime, what are your thoughts? You know, looking back, what do you think of the Pokemon X album? And is there anything else there that you'd like to see for this year, this anniversary? All right, folks, thanks.